Hibachi Mishima.
Oh, sorry, I mispronounced. Hibachi Mishiba.
Okay, Mishiba. So, you want us to make this man appreciate you?
Aibo says, "Gentlemen, can I see you outside for just a moment?"
All right, sure. We go outside.
My nephew does not know what he is asking. My brother is a very cruel and unusual man. When my nephew was just a boy, he so looked up to his father, and his father invited him to attend a meeting of the company board. My brother owns a restaurant chain, you see. He's very ruthless. I used to run it, but I stepped down, and it's a whole story. The important thing is, my nephew spoke up for the employees of the chain when they had a plan to take the tips from the employees and just give it to the company. This offended my brother, who declared a Fire Fists tournament and invited all of the world's greatest fighters to participate. Whoever won would claim ownership of the Mishiba Zaibatsu. My grandson, in his arrogant youthful folly, agreed to participate, but when my brother defeated him in battle, he threw my nephew into a volcano.
He seems okay.
My brother wasn't that diligent about it. He kind of walked away giggling.
So your brother thinks that his son is dead?
No, because then he declared the King of Fire Fists tournament too, and my nephew tried to participate in that one as well, and was defeated as well.
I feel like your nephew should maybe distance himself from his father. This is
That's what I keep saying. I'm telling him, just forget about your father. He's insane. But he says, no, he's the most powerful man in the Fire Nation.
Is he?
Well, he's one of the wealthiest men in the Fire Nation, and he has the ear of the Fire Emperor himself. So yes, he's quite powerful.
Then why are you theater clowns?
We're not theater clowns. We are theater fools. Theater fools sometimes talk about and criticize the monarchy or the power structures of the world. I thought it would be a way for myself and my nephew to make a difference without directly challenging my brother in a King of Fire Fists tournament.
Man, why could you have not just been normal people?
I'm sorry. I hope that you understand the upper class have very few struggles because all of our needs are met and there's not very many things that we really need to do. So we have to create our own unique problems. My family has chosen the Fire Fists tournament and a variety of other issues. If you can help with this one in particular, then we will be grateful to trade you the Light Dragon.
Okay, what if we get him to declare another Fire Fist tournament, and then we enter and we win, and our condition for winning is that he has to kiss his son on the forehead?
Are any of you firebenders?
As it would happen, no.
Well, that's kind of the thing. It's the King of Fire Fists tournament. If you don't have fire fists, then you can't enter.
Is this the only condition on which we get the Light Dragon back?
It's not my desired condition, but my nephew won't let you take it unless you satisfy him in some way.
Okay, and just for clarity's sake, hypothetically speaking, you and your nephew are both skilled combatants.
Oh yes, we keep trying to enter the Fire Fist tournament, but there's a lot of people who enter it. Every noble in the city, pretty much. My nephew makes it all the way to his father, but his father always wins.
Okay, so you're like among the top 3 most powerful firebenders in the city.
I wouldn't go so far as to claim something as big as that. You know, you can find talent under virtually any stone. You just have to turn it over.
But you haven't met a stone more powerful than yourself.
Well, I haven't turned over every single stone.
Can we go back to the offer where we pay a girl to kiss your nephew?
Look, you should have taken it up before. That deal has expired. My nephew knows that we're offering something, and he won't give up the Light Dragon if you don't do what he wants.
Okay, I got another idea. We have his dad do a cordial sit-down with the son, and if we can arrange that, which sounds difficult on its own, then we get the Light Dragon.
No.
Why not? At least that seems in the realm of plausibility.
I regret even taking you back there to talk to Zubo. No, we are not going to talk to my brother. He is not going to accept Zubo. And if anything, he'll just declare another King of Fire Fist tournament, and my nephew will enter it again and get his ass beat again.
Your nephew appears to nearly be a man. If your brother wants to pound his butt, and your nephew wants to have his butt pounded, I don't see what the problem is.
Everything you just said is a problem. The deal is off. Go away. Forget it.
Fine, but you haven't heard the last of this. You thieves. You Light Dragon thieves. Turkey! No, Elvis, no. Come on, let's go outside.
You go outside.
Well, that's it. Turkey.
They're fire masters. The best in the city, apparently. You can't master fire if you've been surprise stabbed in the back of the head. True, but have you ever seen how badly burns heal? I don't want that to be me. You know, if this kid wants to reconcile with his father, then let's reconcile with his father. All right, we're getting that light dragon.
But the father sounds insane.
Look, I've lived my whole life with Mother. I know how to handle these things, all right? Come on, let's go. Mason, I take it enough people know where Hibachi Mishiba lives for us to just ask and then get there.
Yeah, pretty much. It's like this enormous gated mansion somewhere in the, edge of the city in the upper class area on the hills.
All right, go up to the gate man. Excuse me, we're here for Hibachi Mishiba.
The gate man says, "One does not just walk in on Hibachi Mishiba unannounced."
Are you not the help, you pathetic peasant? Announce me, then! I am Paul, noble of the Dark Nation, come all this way to tell Hibachi Mishiba to lick my balls!
Is Sir being facetious, or would you like me to deliver that entire message?
Give him the entire message, and then tell him to shut up.
Very well. He nods to one of the other gate guards, and he heads up the hill. Soon, a man wearing a tiger print suit comes storming out of his mansion. He's flanked by 3 other men and being led by the gate guard that you verbally assaulted. When he arrives, he yells, "Who has the gall to tell me to shut up?"
I told the man to announce me! Elvis, turkey that guy! Knife!
You stab the guy in the chest. He clutches it and then falls down. Ah! Hibachi, who is completely bald, but has a terrifyingly thick mustache. "Don't just stand there getting killed by those guys. Kill those guys." And we're at the top of 12. Paul, you're up.
Field of darkness, no one can see.
You wave your arms and a field of darkness erupts over the area. Everyone is blind. Lowry.
Okay, tunnel underground, then seal myself up.
Lowry goes underground. Elvis.
All right, leap up over the guys and get behind them on the other side.
And then it's their turn. Together at once, you hear sparks and fires erupt forward.
Okay, abort black hole, suck it up.
The field of darkness drops and a black hole sucks all the fire directly into it. It looks like only the 3 bodyguards were attacking. Hibachi isn't doing anything. Paul aborted, so Lowry.
Jump out of my hole and launch a rock at a guy.
All right, you surprise him. It's bonus to hit, so you knock him off his feet. Elvis.
Just toss a handful of knives at one of the guys.
That is 3 hits, 3 knives run up the guy's back. Thunk, thunk, thunk. And he falls forward, trying to grab at his back. Oh no! It is now their turn, but it's one guy left, and Hibachi, and the 3rd guy begins to panic. He looks at Elvis, he looks at Lowry, he looks at Paul, and then Hibachi grabs him by the throat and incinerates him. When the guy is charbroiled, Hibachi drops him. He was already dead. But don't think this means that you can come onto my lawn and condescend to me.
We're not on your lawn.
What?
Look at us, we're on the other side of the gate.
Fine. Before I kill you, why don't you tell me why you've come all the way from the Dark Nation to be incinerated by the fires of the sun?
Well, we're here about your son, actually.
My son? The pathetic, blubbering failure who can't even kill his own father? Look at me. My hair is gray and I've got wrinkles deep in my forehead, and still he can't manage to strike me down.
Oh, I'm aware of the story, and it's a failure of parenting, sir.
No more of this again. Don't throw your son in a volcano, Hibachi. You sound just like my brother.
Don't put words in my mouth. I'm accusing you of being too soft on your son.
Hibachi's face contorts in the most dumbfounded look. What do you mean?
Your idiot son still thinks that you love him.
That is a lie. I have never loved anyone in my life.
That's not what he says. He says Dad loves me deep down.
Shut up. I won't stand here and take this slander. His fists light up with flame.
Look, all the parenting books today say that physical violence isn't the way forward, and clearly, sir, that's where you've gone wrong. You focused on punishment, which sends the wrong message. Everyone knows that modern parenting is all about pulling the psychological levers. If you want the boy to know that you don't love him, you have to make it clear.
I'll send him your head in a box. How's that for a psychological message?
Well, he doesn't like me and I don't like him, so he'll think that you did that for him.
He lets the fire extinguish.
What you want to do, if you want to make it clear that you don't really love him, is go down to the theater where he's working at now. Tell him that you'll take him back in the family if he quits that job and walks away from his uncle. And then, once he's back home with you, just ignore him.
I wouldn't let that whiny little twig back in my home if you paid me everything in the world.
Well, then you've already lost, sir. The one thing you can't beat is that kid's devotion to impressing you.
He kind of gives you a cockeyed look and he goes, "There's something in this for you." isn't there?
Mr. Mishiba, your son was invited as a theater clown to entertain myself and some important colleagues at a private function. At that private function, he lambasted me in front of everyone. Now, I'm a big fan of titles, but I don't really like nicknames. And you see, in the Dark Nation, we have a saying, revenge should emerge from the shadows. So I did my research, I looked into your family, and I realized that one psychological shiner deserves another.
I'm not hearing what I get out of it.
Mr. Mishiba, there's nothing that I could give to a man as powerful and as wealthy as yourself. But your son is starving for recognition, and I do have the resources to promote him and make sure that the Mishiba name becomes closely associated with your clown son. Every time someone thinks Mishiba, they'll imagine a little kid prancing across the stage dressed in makeup. Oh, woe is me, alas, poor Yorick, I knew him well. You could kill me, Mr. Mishiba, but you can't kill a reputation like that, and your son has the cards all lined up for us to make it happen.
You're a shrewd bastard, Mr. Paul.
Well, I do hail from the land of shadow politics, Mr. Mishiba, and of course there is a carrot along with this stick. If you cooperate, then your son will quickly be disavowed of all these silly notions about being a part of your family.
I threw him into a volcano, and even that didn't work. What do you think will make him stop?
Just as I said, go to the theater and tell the boy, you know what, I realize now that you're so much more than I thought you were. Clowns are the real heroes. Comedians tell it like it is. Quit this job and come back to the house. We'll start our own theater troupe. You'll be in charge of it. And then once he comes back to the mansion, you ignore everything. Pay him no attention. Get his hopes up and then fail to follow through on everything that you promise every single time.
Okay. Yeah, and whenever he has an idea or something he wants to do, I act like I'll support it, and then I make sure that he cuts himself off from a few more contacts and a few more opportunities.
There you go. And see, you don't have to pay me a thing. This is revenge, served by me, and he doesn't even know it. My Dark Lord would be so proud.
I don't like men like you, Paul. You should be going out in a blaze of glory.
Kill a man in broad daylight, Mr. Mishiba, and they will rise up to stop you. You could kill 1,000 more from the shadows.
Fine. He holds out his hand to shake yours.
All right, lean through and shake his hand through the gates.
He makes a big display of wiping his hand off.
I'll buy a ticket to your son's next show. I hope to see you there.
I'll be up in the balcony. But after this, you had better run back to your shadows. If I see you again, I'll make good on my promise to cut off your head. And I won't send it to my son if it would make him happy.
Like a cockroach I will scuttle, sir, to lay my eggs and whatever. You'll rue the day you let me go. May we never meet again. And we leave. We gotta get to the theater to buy tickets.
Paul, I just gotta say, this feels pretty evil.
Look, the kid gave us an impossible task, and we're giving him what he wants. He has his father's complete attention now. If that kid knew what was good for him, he would already be saying, "Shut up, Dad, I'm doing it!" And that would be the end of it.
Oh, come on, Paul. You're way older than this kid. You've had more time to learn how to deal with abusive parenting. Cut Zubo some slack.
He's gotta learn, Lowry. That's how it works. You gotta learn.
He could learn by you teaching. Look, this is an opportunity to practice being a father yourself. You could, imagine what it would be like if we weren't who we are, and you wanted to be better for a child.
When I'm a dad, I'm gonna build a treehouse.
Yeah, that's the spirit.
And then I'll throw my kid out of it so he learns airbending faster.
Okay, well, we'll revisit some of this stuff when it's relevant. I mean, for now, let's focus on Zubo.
Fine, I'll think about it. Mason, when is this kid's next show?
We'll say tomorrow night, and there's still a couple of tickets left over.
Actually, you know what? That would be dumb. We can pick locks. During the show, I want to break into the back room and just steal the light dragon.
Wait, why was that not the contingency plan instead of Elvis killing somebody?
I forgot I could pick locks.
Okay, alright, we're gonna ruin this kid's life because you forgot that we could just break into this kid's room.
Get your panties out of a twist, Lowry. I'm gonna leave a note for him. Before we go in, I'm gonna write up a note explaining the entire plot with Hibachi. And, then we're just gonna steal the light dragon, I guess.
Yeah, you wait until the show, everybody's doing their thing on stage, Zubo and Aibo can't guard the room. You pick the lock to get in, and there you find they've actually moved it to a goldfish bowl, and they filled it with plants and dirt and stuff like that. And the light dragon looks a little bit happier. He's got crickets in there, and some water, and there's nothing stopping you from swiping him.
Alright, leave the letter, just sign it from a fan, and then get out of there.
I'm just saying, we murdered 3 people for this.
We murdered 2 people. Hibachi murdered the 3rd one. I'm not a bad guy, Lowry. Listen, the kid wanted to reconcile with his dad, so we got the dad involved. That means our end of the bargain is upheld. We are not even technically stealing the light dragon.
Oh. Yeah, I guess we are the good guys here.
See, we are the good guys here.
He did say we could have it.
We're just collecting a debt in secret after breaking and entering.
We did steal it from Bingle first, though.
Yeah, but Bingleberry sucks.
Yeah, he didn't deserve a light dragon.
Look, the kid's got the information. Whatever he does with it, that's on him. Let's skedaddle on out of here and go back to the carriage.
Your mom's there waiting? So did you get it all figured out?
We did, Mom. Check it out! A light dragon! And I think it does eat crickets, it just has to not be depressed.
All right, so what's step 2?
We gotta go back for potato soup. Poor potato soup, he's probably so confused.
He's probably been confused since you plucked him out of the woods, Elvis. But we do need to deliver a message to Bingle. So, back to the Air Nation. We'll leave a little message for Bingle and then hightail it home.
Finally. You know, I could really go for some good old cow elk meatballs. Nobody does those like the Dark Nation.
It's just one of the many things that makes us and our nation great, Mom.